Welcome back. My name is Nick and I have Taylor here with me, and today we're going to be breaking down Season 4, Episode 1 of Succession, The Lonely Birthday Party and the Disgusting Brothers. Is that right? It's the Disgusting Brothers?
The Disgusting Brothers. We just watched it like 15 minutes ago, so...
Yeah, we're fresh off of it. We're here to talk about it. By the way, if you go to thebestnerdyshirts.com, you can get all the cool merch we make for the different shows we watch. We have a Cousin Greg shirt, which is freaking awesome. And every comment you entered, or every comment you leave on this video is entered to win a shirt at the end of the month. So comment down below thoughts and ideas about the episode or whatever you guys want. And we're here for it. Oh, I'm so excited to jump into this. Okay, recap. Boom, boom, boom. So basically, the trio's together. The father's alone.
And it's about 3 months post final scene, which wasn't expected. I was expecting it to pick up right up. I was expecting it to pick up right as that, as they're leaving that room. So it was a surprising thing that it started 3 months later.
Which is good for tension building, I guess, for them. Even though it would have been nice to pick up like the conversation right after with Shiv and Tom to just see how the relationship was kind of going on. But we'll start from the beginning, the trio. They're together now. They're hustling. They're creating a new company. They do the switch, but it's fun to see them working together. Even though they take the hits at each other, they're having fun. They're enjoying their life, which is kind of weird for them to actually be enjoying life, it looks like.
Mm-hmm. And they stayed together at least for 3 months, so that's a big accomplishment. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, that is a pretty big accomplishment. And it kind of, you see them happy together, just the three of them, and then Logan's surrounded by people and he's unhappy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you kind of get the sense that he misses his kids a little bit. At least that's how they kind of imply it. Yeah.
No, you definitely get that sense. Like, he's around brown nosers, I guess. People that just kind of suck up to him and, like, and he doesn't have anyone fighting against him or standing up to him, which he likes. He likes the chaos, right? We talked about that in our Logan breakdown video. He likes the war aspect, the chaos, like always for something to happen. And it's kind of like a calm period for him, I guess. And he's like bored. And I mean, even to the like later on in the episode, he wants his people to roast him.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, we're going to definitely get to that. Wait,
I was watching that scene like this. Oh God, no.
What did you get out of the party?
The party, like I said, the first thing I noticed was that when they were singing happy birthday to him, and obviously he was really uncomfortable, and I feel like the context, like reading between the lines, his facial expressions and his tremendous acting, you just kind of see that he kind of misses maybe not even his kid, maybe even Marcia, just someone who knows that he doesn't want what's happening right now. Yeah. And it's interesting because the first season started with his surprise birthday party, which obviously he didn't want that, but at least, I don't know, he felt a little more comfortable there. But anyways, not to digress, but isn't that kind of interesting that we kind of starting the first season and the last season sort of in the same
totally way? Yeah, it's like the birthday party, right? And Greg's there now with his girlfriend.
Shady. When they pointed to her and you could tell she was like taking a picture or something, I feel like Greg might be being played there. We'll see.
Come on, Greg being played. Come on. And then,
I know, it's a stretch.
And then you have that like very awkward conversation between Logan and Tom, where basically Logan's just like, "Are we good?" He's like, "If you're good, then we're good." Like, but in his back of his mind, like, I think he knows the divorce is coming, and his main tie to Logan is through Shiv. So it's like, if he loses that lifeline, does he get kicked off the ship or the boat? You know what I mean? At that point, like, is he only just using Logan, or is Logan only using him right now to get information out of the trio? Just, and then like
Probably.
once it's cut, it's like, oh, I have no need for you kind of thing.
Yeah, I could totally see that. And I mean, it's been helpful so far.
Kind of.
Yeah.
He really didn't do much in this.
I don't know. Like, we're seeing that the kids are kind of coming up out on top in this episode.
Yeah.
But when I skimmed Reddit really quick, someone is kind of bringing up what I'm feeling right now. So I'll just like read it to
Go for
start
it.
that conversation. So it's, did anyone else find it suspicious how relatively easy it was for the siblings to beat out their dad in the bid for Pierce? I almost feel like he wanted them to buy it for $10 billion for whatever reason. Maybe it's a huge waste for them. Like Roman pointed out, it's a dinosaur business. I feel like if Logan really wanted Pierce, his ego wouldn't let him lose in the first place. And it would be a more vicious fight. So I kind of do think it's a little too good to be true. But I mean, the end of the episode, I just feel like, why would they come up on top so quickly? You know, like I feel like we can only go down. It can only crater.
Exactly, right? That's how it is, right? Like everything starts off good and then it tanks down for everyone that fights against Logan. But it was weird too how he was taking advice from his secretary, his lover,
Carrie.
or what's her name again? I can't remember her name.
Carrie, Kerry, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it was very, very weird. He was listening to her for advice on the business deal, not his board of people. Like he, she was like, we should go down to 6 or whatever, and that whole thing. And it was also interesting too when they were like, he's not answering our calls, but he answers her call right away when they're at the dinner thing. So that's like, okay, so she's in his ear for sure. And that was a great conversation too that the siblings had with her when they were walking onto the plane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good writing.
No holds bar. HBO for you.
Yeah. And I also thought it was interesting too where like, you know how Tom's with Kendall's ex, right? Like they were on a date or they were meeting or whatever the situation was. Automatically they think like it's Logan trying to get in their heads. Like it could be like any situation that they come across, they'll think that it's Logan trying to plant seeds and disrupt them. It's crazy that he has that much power over them, with their mind games and stuff like that too. Which makes it possible what you're saying about the deal thing too. He's letting them have a victory to maybe swipe in and do something else or cut in somewhere else to catch them off guard. It's like the Trojan horse kind of thing.
But at the same time, at the last scene, when he's literally an old man yelling at the TV, it kind of shows him a little bit down. So it's like, is he the Logan that we've known this whole time?
Yeah, it's true.
I think that might be questionable. With that scene, it's serving a purpose. So it's showing that, he obviously he's going to watch at night and be on top of like what his product is, what he thinks is like the most important product is, but he also just kind of comes across as like, the frumpy old man.
Yeah, it's true. Like who watches late night television anyways? Him. And we got to also talk about how he's thinking about his death. Afterlife. In a
heavy.
deep way. Yeah. And it's almost like, is he bummed with his relationship with his kids? Like if he was to die and the way he would end it with his kids right now, is that what he's thinking about? Like his legacy through his blood and not just his business? It's like an actual legacy that lives on over and over through generations, or is it like just a business that's his legacy? Because even the way he talks about people and marketing, they're almost just like numbers or dollar signs and what the values are. It's like he even lost the idea of like what humans are. To him it's just money basically, or eyeballs that pays him for his news and his time and watch time hours and stuff like that. But
you're saying he might be questioning that, or kind of like feeling
yeah,
regretful?
I think that's what it is. Like his kids weren't there at his party, they're not even talking to him, they're not even reaching out at this point. Like, but then again, maybe this is like he's also proud of them at the end. If they truly won the deal, maybe that's him acknowledging the fight, right? Remember, you have to be killers. So maybe that's him, even though he's pissed at them that they win, he's excited that they won. Just like when Kendall made the choice to go on the news and reveal the thing, he was almost like he felt pride and like he was proud of Kendall at that moment. So is he feeling pride? And he's like, maybe it's a good idea that they left and they're doing their own thing because they're learning to become sharks or killers and stuff like that.
Yeah, and this might be kind of like a little bit on a rabbit trail, but what I thought was interesting too with Previously On, anybody who watches TV knows that the Previously On is highlighting things that are important to what you're about to see. They're not going to just show anything from the last season, and the first thing they showed was Logan's press conference at the end of season 2, I think. Yeah, so interesting thing to keep in mind.
Yes.
Perhaps. I don't know.
And then we got to talk about the sex tape.
Right. We have, you just think like Greg is so goofy. How they're just going to jump the shark on Greg. It just has to happen, and it just doesn't. It's just perfect.
He's
and
still in the inner circle of trust. How does he get in there and stay in there?
I just was dying at the part where he's trying to cut in and tell Logan that he just inadvertently made a sex tape by having are we gonna get like this video delisted? Some things went down in a bedroom, and Greg was told that Logan has cameras in every room and watches the footage every night. So anyways, so they're kind of having this huge pinnacle moment with the deal. Is it going to go through? Is it not? Who's the other bidder? And Greg is just at the same time trying to cut in and let Logan know that he did this. It's just private. Like, so perfect.
It's private. Can I talk to you in the other room?
Or he just like talks to him in the corner. Oh my gosh. But and I love how he's like, but he kind of smiled.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
And then that's when the roasting happens right afterwards, right? That's when he's like, roast me. And it's so interesting too, where he wants that, like, he wants, to be the shark, because even though he wants people to attack him with jokes, right after any joke, he already had an attack ready to go. It's like,
yeah, it's like, that's not how roasts work. But yeah. Totally. It's
so he already had something for everyone. Like, you can tell he was still sharp on that end of it, like his mindset, like he was still sharp with the attack. And I also thought it was interesting for the moment for Greg. Greg is such an interesting character, how he can flip flop like crazy. He truly likes his girl, but when it comes to the moment where they have to kick her out, he's like, yeah, you can go do that. I'm just gonna go hide over here in the corner.
Yeah.
If he takes it, I'm gonna lie. I hope he takes it for the win. By the way, we did a Greg video breaking down how he can take it for the win, take it all. But anyways, go check it out. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I feel like going back, it doesn't fare well for the kids that they're already coming out on top so quickly, because there's like 15 episodes left. It's like, this can't last.
Oh, there's 15?
This isn't sustainable.
Oh, dang.
What?
There's 15 episodes?
I don't know. I totally just made that up. I thought there was 9. Like 12.
Oh,
yeah, you're right.
It's probably like a 9 episode, 8 or 9 episode. It was a long episode, though. It was a long episode time-wise. It was like an hour, I think, which is pretty long.
Yeah, they all are.
Yeah. And then
10.
Oh, there's 10. Oh, perfect. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's like awesome way to end it. And then the kids win. That was fun, seeing the whole deal happen and cutting back and forth, and Tom and the speakerphone, and he wants to talk to Shiv privately, but she leaves it on speaker, and the vice versa, all that good stuff. And they come out on top. Will it be a win, though, in the long run? They're kind of doing the same thing their dad did by buying old media stuff, where it's so funny because in previous seasons they're always been like, no, let's do the new thing, let's buy the hip company, but then they're buying the old safe thing, kind of what they know. We'll see if that plays out good for them. I mean, that's probably why we have this season.
Your intentions, like, I think Logan's kind of tired against them on the speakerphone. He has a good point where it's like, you don't have an original idea. You're not going after this necessarily because you want to. I mean, they may be like psyching themselves up that they want to, but it's like, aren't you just kind of reacting to your dad? And isn't that kind of like a bad business? That's not really a great business model, or like a business path. Like, you'd rather be doing something like when they were in the beginning trying to create something potentially truly different. Whereas like they chose the path where they're just going to kind of like, we got you, Dad. Not really a wise decision, because who knows? I don't think, maybe it's not even worth 10 billion and they're gonna be under. I mean,
it's true.
It was they were getting bought at 7 or whatever for a reason. So
or at 6, right? Yeah, he dropped it down to 6 too. It was also interesting too how Roman seems like the level-headed one.
Yeah.
Between the two, and he actually wants to start something new. It was nice to hear that, like, I kind of want to just start my own business, do it right. We don't need to spend all of our money. Let's start small and all this stuff. But Kendall, he's a big talker. He always likes to go big, and it looks like Shiv's really going at it for being a killer. She wants to go after Tom and her dad at this point now. She's just like gunning after them and jumping into Shiv. The ending was Shiv and Tom. She just has to be in control of that relationship, doesn't she? She needs to be the strong one, the one controlling the relationship. It's such a good scene, and the writing was so
yeah, and the acting. I think
Yeah.
those two are the probably, Brian Cox. They're all just so good, but those two, especially for me, are like extremely just. They are their characters to me. And yeah, that whole situation is super complicated. If you watched our predictions episode, our hashtag babies theories. And so I was expecting her to be like just saying that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
But
3 months
Yeah.
has gone by, right? 3 months. So she's not even showing or anything yet, so right?
Yeah,
I don't know how that works.
No, 3 months. No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think she would be showing
Okay.
at 3 months.
Okay. So technically your baby theory could still be a thing.
Yeah, if they it isn't exactly 3 months to it. It'd be a little more than that,
Yeah.
assuming,
Oh, it's true. No, that's true. Yeah.
I don't know if they were quite in the mood after that whole episode, but
I don't know. They have their own unique ways.
That relationship is so complicated too,
Yeah.
because I always just think whenever they're like having a fight like that, I just think of like what she did on their wedding night and how like of an asshole or how a butthole she was.
That's right.
And I'm just like, how are you so...
Yeah.
Roman's not the only one with messed up relationship issues.
Yeah, she has some major relationship issues, and she's also a killer too. Look what she did to Kendall when she released all of his dirt on publicly. I mean, even Roman was like, "Hey, that's dark," kind of thing. So
some people just like getting the first reaction of a wave on Twitter, which obviously isn't definitive, but I'd wonder what like the viewers would say is that some people thought it was a little boring.
Yeah.
Like if there was like a pregnancy announcement in that last scene, like I feel like that would have been like, oh my god, the hook for the first episode of season 4. But from what I'm seeing, people think it's a little bit boring. So I wonder what people think about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like their best episode out of all the seasons for sure, and I wouldn't say it's the worst. I think it's like a good, strong Succession episode where we get to see the kids working together and seeing that, and it's a build up, right? It's going to be a build up to a grand finale, and right now it's like they gotta really. I think what they're trying to do is make us love the trio so much so when it falls apart, it's like huge when it falls apart kind of thing.
Laying the groundwork for sure.
So anyways, let us know down below if you liked it, disliked it, you thought it was a bad episode, good episode, or if it was slow, if it was an okay episode. Comment down below. Let us know if you like Greg still. Come on, Greg. Get me on videotape. And
win it all.
Win it all, Greg. Comment down below so you can enter to win one of the shirts that we give away once a month from thebestnerdyshirts.com. That's where we have all of our shirts. And we'll be here next week doing the next episode review right after it comes out. So we'll see you on the next AsArt.
Bye.
Nice. Woo. Gosh, Greg. Oh, boy.